So a very good afternoon to all the students. Are you getting my voice? Am I audible to all the students? Please reply in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you all. Thank you very much. So friends, starting on time, it is 12:30. So myself, Milan Pandya, working as an assistant professor at New LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Dear friends, in semester 1, I will be taking your subject, that is basic mechanical engineering. The subject code for this subject, that is 311-0006. So friends, since it is the first lecture of this subject, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss some of the fundamental points or the basic concepts related to the mechanical engineering, and then we will discuss the important points related to the subject, that is the basic mechanical engineering. So I hope that majority of the students have joined the group. So let us start the discussion. So the first question that will be arising in your minds, what is mechanical engineering? Dear friends, the mechanical engineering is one of the oldest and the broadest branch of the engineering. If we consider the study of the mechanical engineering, basically the mechanical engineering, it applies the principles of physics as well as the material sciences. And dear friends, you are well aware about the subject, that is the physics, because the physics you have already studied at your school level in standard 11th and 12th, and also in the current semester you are studying the physics. So major principles and the concepts of the physics are applied in the mechanical engineering. If we consider the use of the mechanical engineering, it is used in the designing of the different products, the manufacturing of the different engineering components, as well as the maintenance of the different systems. Are you able to get my voice, all the students? Please reply in the chat box. My voice is audible to all the students. Okay, I am getting the positive response. Okay, fine. Okay, no issue. So next, in the mechanical engineering, basically it is also used for the analysis of the mechanical systems. And friends, being the engineer, whenever we are designing or developing any product, we need to check the performance of the product. And for the performance, there must be the application of the analysis. So basically, the mechanical engineering is also used for the analysis of the systems. Proceeding further with the next topic, that is the applications of the mechanical engineering. So dear friends, the first and the simplest application of the mechanical engineering, that is in the field of the automobile engineering. Right now, majority of the automobile engineers are using the concepts of the mechanical engineering. At this point, let me ask you one of the question. Since you are the students of the computer engineering, how the use of the computer engineering can be applied to the automobiles? Or I am repeating the question, what is the use of the computer engineering in the automobiles? So kindly give me your answers in the chat box. Okay, Devers has given the answer. We do it for the self-driving and all. Okay. Embedded systems are applied in the automobiles. Very good answer. To set up the software in the cars. Okay, that is also one of the answer. Digital screen, one of the good answer that now we are seeing on our dashboard. Also, the applications of the robots and the artificial intelligence, very good. For operating the machinery, okay, very good. For developing the automobiles, the manufacturers are using the assembly lines, and majority of the assembly lines, they are now computerized. Very good answers from all the students. Okay, for the navigation of the automobiles, okay, that can also be used. Artificial intelligence, that is for the parking. Very good answer. Radar and the map, okay, that is used for the GPS system. Okay, fine. Very good, very good. I am getting some of the good positive responses from all the students. Okay, totally impressed. So proceeding further with the next application of the mechanical engineering, that is in the field of the cement industry. Dear friends, I have considered a very simple industry, that is the cement industry. In the image, you are seeing the final product of this industry. For the manufacturing of the cement, several raw materials are required, and by certain chemical processing, the cement is being produced. And through the conveyor lines, finally the cement is collected at one place and then it is packed in the containers. Proceeding further with the next application of the mechanical engineering, that is in the power sector. So friends, this is the generation of the electricity. Considering this image, let me again ask you one of the simple questions. Can anybody give me the answer or the name of the tower which is shown in the image? Name of the tower which is shown in the image. Any student can answer in the chat box. Name of the tower which you are seeing in the image. Any student can give me the answer. Okay, some of the students are telling it is transformer. Okay, tower. The question is asked again to me. It is transmission tower. Okay, transmission tower. Okay, okay, can be understood. I am expecting overhead lines. Okay, it is somewhat different from my question. I am asking the name of the tower itself. Okay, fine. So in simple terms, if you want to understand, this is a simple tower which is used for the transmission of the electricity or the high transmission lines. So basically friends, if we consider the mechanical engineering for the development or for the producing the electricity, there are several methods. Some of the methods are, for example, that are the thermal power stations. Also, the electricity can be generated by the hydropower plants, the nuclear power plants, and if we consider the vision of our respected Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, right now our Prime Minister is mainly focusing on the renewable energy sources. And friends, if we have observed, we are getting tremendous marketing of the solar rooftops, and majority of the people now they are installing the solar rooftops at their homes for the residential purposes and finally generating the electricity. So this can be considered as one of the important application of the mechanical engineering. Proceeding further with the next application, that is in the field of the oil and the gas industry. In the oil and the gas industry also, starting from the designing to the production and finally to the maintenance, there are several applications of the mechanical engineering. Moving further with the next application, that is in the field of the hydraulics and the pneumatics. Basically friends, in simple terms, the hydraulics that deals with the liquids and the pneumatics that deals with the fluids. And in the fluids, we can take the concepts of the liquids as well as the gases. So proceeding further with the point of the application, this will be the good interesting point for you considering the pandemic situation as we are facing in the current scenario. The robotics and the automation use has increased tremendously, and it is one of the good application of the mechanical engineering. Let me again ask you a simple question. Can anybody give me the example where we are using the concepts of the robotics and the automation in the present scenario? What is the application of robotics and automation in the present scenario? It is very much related to your branch, that is the computer engineering. Okay, automated factory is very good for the painting of the cars, for the surgeries, in the smart TVs and appliances, okay, for automation, setting up the body and the paint, okay, to create the satellite parts by AI and ML, okay, that is related to your branch. Development of the drones, if you have heard about, during the pandemic situation, the drones, they played a very important role. Some more answers from the students. What is the application of robotics and automation in the present scenario which you are aware about? I want some more people to interact. Okay, automatic robots are used in hotels also. Very good answer from Stuti. Automatic fighter planes for the defense. Okay, that can be considered. Alexa, very good answer. Making the motherboards. Okay, very good. In the mobile technology, in the computer technology, very good. In large scale industries to produce the man work. Okay, fine, very good. Rope phase, very good, very good. So majority of the students are giving very good answers. Fine, fine. So this session is very interactive and I hope you are understanding all the points. So proceeding further, now this is one of the interesting questions. Whenever I explain the subject to the computer students, the first question in your mind, sir, we are the students of computer engineering. So why we need to study the subject of basic mechanical engineering? Let me know from you how many students were having this question before attending this lecture. Please reply in the chat box. How many students had this question before attending this lecture? Okay, one of the response I have got. Okay, Dev has also replied to me. Very good. Divya Panchal has given a reply. Very good. Some of the students are raising the hands. Okay, fine. Very good. So you are having this question, right? So now let me clear your doubts. So friends, basic mechanical engineering, in simple, we name it as BME. So this subject is the foundation of the mechanical engineering. So basic mechanical engineering, it covers, or this subject covers the basic principles of the mechanical engineering. Means the basic concepts which are covered or which needs to be understood in mechanical engineering. All those basic concepts will be covered in this subject. And finally, the basic mechanical engineering as a subject that discusses the working of the different mechanical components and the different mechanical systems. So this is the overall importance of studying the subject of the basic mechanical engineering in the first year. And friends, according to the Gujarat Technological University, this is a common subject which needs to be studied by all the students of the engineering. Proceeding further with the basic mechanical engineering, this subject, the complete syllabus is divided into 4 modules. The module 1, module 2, module 3 as well as module 4. Now let us understand these 4 modules in some details. Moving further, this is the percentage weightage of the different modules. The first module will be having the percentage weightage of 25%. The second module will be having the weightage of 30%. The third module will be having 20% weightage. And the fourth module will consist of 25%. So friends, if you make the summation of all the percentages, you will be getting the answer that is 100%. So the complete 100% syllabus of the basic mechanical engineering is distributed in these 4 modules. Proceeding further, now let us understand the different chapters covered in each module. In the first module, there are 3 chapters. The first chapter, that is the introduction, which is the very simple chapter and one of the interesting chapter. The next chapter, that is the energy chapter. And friends, let me tell you, in the energy chapter, majority of the points you have already studied at your school level. So whenever we are discussing the second chapter, that is energy, it will be a very interactive session. the important chapter of this module 1, that is the properties of the gases. Because friends, in the chapter of the properties of the gases, we will be making some analytical derivations. We will be deriving the equations for the gases, for the different processes. And finally, we are going to solve the numericals related to find the properties of the gases. So the third chapter is very important in this module, in which there will be major percentage of the analytical discussion. And also we are going to solve the numericals related to the properties of gases. So these are the 3 chapters covered in the first module. Proceeding further with the next module, that is module 2. In this module also there are 3 chapters. The first chapter, that is the properties of the steam. The second chapter, that is the heat engines. And the third chapter is the steam boilers. And friends, if you remember the percentage weightage, the module 2 is having the maximum percentage weightage. That was the 30%. So this module, the 3 chapters are very important to be understood. Proceeding further, the next module, that is module 3, it again comprises of the 3 chapters. The first chapter and one of the interesting chapter, that is the internal combustion engines. Dear friends, the automobiles which we are using in our day-to-day lives, majority of the automobiles, they are using the engines for developing the power. So all those concepts of the internal combustion engines we are going to discuss in this chapter. Next we are going to understand the chapter of the pumps, and finally we will understand the new chapter, that is the air compressors. And the last module, that is the fourth module, it comprises again of the 4 chapters. The first chapter, that is the refrigeration and the air conditioning. The next chapter, that is the coupling, clutches and brakes. The next chapter, that is the transmission of the motion and the power. And the last chapter, that is the engineering materials. So friends, these are the different chapters distributed in the 4 modules respectively. So I hope you have counted the number of chapters. So let me ask you the question, what are the total number of chapters in the subject of BME? What are the total number of chapters in the subject of BME, Basic Mechanical Engineering? Okay, one of the answer I have got. Okay, 13. Very good. Okay, 13. Very good. Fine. So total there are 13 chapters in the subject of the Basic Mechanical Engineering. And as we are discussing all these chapters, you will be familiar with the concepts of the different chapters. Moving further with the discussion. So friends, after studying the subject of the Basic Mechanical Engineering, this is the course outcome. You will understand the various sources of energy. You will understand the basic terminology of the mechanical systems. Also, you will understand the various energy conversion cycles and the systems. And finally, you will be able to make some of the elementary calculations for finding the properties of the steam and the gases. So this is the simple course outcome after studying the subject that is the basic mechanical engineering. Moving further, this is the teaching scheme according to the Gujarat Technological University. For this subject, the total lectures per week that will be 3. There are no tutorials in this subject and there are 2 practicals per week. Dear friends, for every subject in GTU, according to the importance of the subject, you will be having the credits. So for the basic mechanical engineering, the total credits of this subject that is 5. So considering this value, now we can understand that this is one of the important subject of the first year of engineering. Moving further, let us understand the examination pattern. Dear friends, try to focus on this point. Basically, the examination pattern, it is distributed in 2 parts. The theory marks and the practical marks. ESE, that stands for the end semester exam, and PA, that stands for the performance assessment. The red portion which you are seeing, that is ESCE, that is 70. This particular theory examination will be taken by the Gujarat Technological University. And this examination will be taken at the end of the semester. And it will be a theoretical examination. The remaining marks which you are seeing, that will be given at the institute level. And friends, if you make the total of all these marks, the total marks, that is 150. The notations which are given in the bracket, M stands for the mid-semester examinations which will be conducted at the institute. V stands for the viva or the practical vivas which is to be considered, and I stands for the internal assessment. So the M component, V component and the I component, that is totally handled at the institute level. The red portion which you are seeing, that is the theoretical examination that will be conducted by the Gujarat Technological University. Proceeding further, these are some of the learning resources or the reference books for the subject of the basic mechanical engineering. The first reference book, that is the Elements of Mechanical Engineering by Sadhu Singh, that is of the S. Chand publication. The next book, that is the Basic Mechanical Engineering by Praveen Kumar. It is of the Pearson Education. The third reference book, that is the Fundamentals of the Mechanical Engineering by G.S. Soni. It is of the PHI publication, that is New Delhi. And the final book, that is the fourth one, Basic Mechanical Engineering by H.G. Kataria, J.P. Hadia, that is the Books India publication. And friends, if I consider the engineering students, majority of the students I have observed, they refer the fourth book. The fourth book which I have given, that is the Basic Mechanical Engineering of the Books India publication. Majority of the engineering students, they refer this book. And this reference book is easily available in the local market where you are getting the engineering books. So friends, these are some of the learning resources for clearing the concepts of the basic mechanical engineering. So friends, now the session is over from my side. Now the session is open to you. If you are having any questions of the topics which are discussed in this session. You can share your questions in the chat box so that I can able to understand your queries. Any question from your side? All the questions are welcome. Kindly share it in the chat box. Okay, sir. Why are most of the oil and the gas industries are developed on the water? Very good question. Very good question from one of the students. See, because the majority of the oil reserves and the gas reserves, they are being getting from the water surfaces, and it is easily dig on the water surface, and mainly this particular industry which requires a larger amount of the volume, and on the water surface, since there is no commercial developments, we are getting the enough amount of this space. And also another important point, considering the safety aspect, since it is away from the commercial centers or for the residential centers, it is quite safe to operate the oil and the gas industries on the water. And another important point, this industry develops a very high amount of the heat energy, and this heat needs to be dissipated. And if it is installed or it is surrounded by the water, then the heat dissipation becomes very easy. So there is no additional requirement for the cooling systems. So these are some of the technical aspects considering the installation of the oil and the gas industries on the water. I hope I have answered your question and you have understood the points which I have discussed for your question. Okay, one of the another questions, sir, how many practicals are there in our subject? Okay, so practicals will be decided. So as I am discussing the chapters one by one, I will highlight that point that in this chapter we will be having the practicals, in this chapter we will not be having the practicals. Dear friends, for this subject, since it is a very basic subject, we will be studying the different models of the different mechanical components, and in the practical sessions we will be understanding the models in the offline session. In the online session, I will show you all those practical models, and as the chapters we are discussing, I will give you the points which you need to understand related to the practicals. So at this point of time, you need not to worry about the practicals. As and when the time comes, I will be giving all the important instructions. So no need to worry about that. Any other question from your side? The platform is open to the students since we are having some good time for the end of the meeting. So friends, let me ask you one final question. Have you understood all the points which I have discussed in today's session? Are the concepts of the mechanical engineering clear in your minds? And now the picture is clear to you why you need to study the subject of basic mechanical engineering in the first year. Is it necessary to buy the references? No, it is not necessary. You can buy any one of the book. Okay, and if you consider the fourth book, that is the Books India publication, is very good and the points are covered in a very simple language. Okay, I want the responses from some other students. Some of the students have given me the positive answers. What about the other participants? Have you understood the points which are covered in this session? Okay, Mahir has replied. Okay, very good. Yatri has given me the message. Okay. Okay, some of the students have also raised the hand. Okay, very good. Okay, Yogi Raj has raised the hand. Okay, very good. So friends, a final thank you from my side. I hope you have enjoyed the session. See you in the next lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to start the first chapter of this subject, that is introduction. And it is a very interesting chapter. You will also enjoy this session. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.